calm down, cause he just wanna learn something, so I teach him something. I am the one that teach.
Call me 10 wins and 20.
I was quite surprised to see George there. I have no idea why he would go to that thing, but you know, that's his prerogative.
George has issues. I'm telling you right now, George needs to relax, breathe a little bit.
George is public enemy number one in the flat Earth because they were accusing him of trying to get Mullin sacked. You know? They blame George for Mullin's disappearance, although nobody knows why Mullin disappeared.
Yeah, they don't understand the point.
Are you saying George killed him or something? Damn.
What? No.
Yeah, he had him whacked.
The same George.
That's how George can make someone go away. I mean, otherwise, the dude got off YouTube his damn self.
Okay.
Yeah, he had him whacked or offed or whacked off or whatever the hell those kids are doing nowadays.
Let me ask you an honest question, guys. Right? So flat earthers in the YouTube, they know who George is, and he got a history. All right. Let's say if Mick West decided to go to this one, well, would they?
West isn't aggressive.
Would they treat him the same as George? Now, another question.
Nope.
What if Neil deGrasse Tyson or Bill Nye or freaking Joe Rogan showed up in the conference? Will they treat him the same like they treat George and other Globers?
Nope.
No, it's like the reason that they hate
aggressive.
George is because of the Brian Mullin fiasco. None of those like
George had nothing to do with it.
Right. AT2.
It doesn't matter. George is aggressive.
Go ahead, man.
That's the problem.
They see it. As far as they're concerned, you know, George went after Brian Mullin.
Yeah. We got
Because
AT2.
nobody knows why. I mean, it's possible that Brian Mullin figured stop believing the Earth was flat. That could happen.
We got Jared in the chat. He said he knows the real reason they don't like George. I mean, as far as I know, it's about Brian Mullin. But what's up, Jared? How you doing? Make sure you're unmuted.
There he is.
Hey, so yeah, yeah, intimately familiar with why the Flurfs don't like George, because myself, George, and another person actually had a number of conversations about Brian Mullin using his status as a professional engineer to help push his bullshit when he was coming up with that force the line thing. The whole thing, the Flurfs who still bring it up and don't like George, like Karen, who had George's access to the conference revoked, because the claim from Karen is that George went after Brian and contacted his employer. That never happened. Myself and George only ever contacted the board of ethics for professional engineers that Brian has to adhere to. That was it. We didn't go to any employers, nothing. We brought his YouTube channel to the board of ethics and said, we don't think this is right. You guys have a look at it, and left it at that.
And didn't they say, no, it's got nothing to do with us. He can do what he likes in his spare time. Didn't they say that?
After looking into it, yes. Now, in the process of looking into it, the board of ethics may have brought it up to his employer as doing part of their due diligence.
Yeah, that's the problem, you see. There's so much speculation out there. The truth is nobody,
exactly.
Nobody knows.
If his employer was contacted, I have a feeling of who it was that would have done it, but I do not actually have confirmation from that person whether or not they did, so I'm leaving it at that. It's a thought, it's a possibility, but I don't know for sure. All I know for sure is that in my conversations with George before and after, all he and I ever did was bring it to the attention of the ethics board. That was it.
Yeah. I think it's entirely possible that Brian Mullin just figured out that the Earth wasn't flat and just quit.
Or realized, this isn't going anywhere. It actually is a sham, and let me cut bait while I'm still good.
So he's just another one that's just disappeared off, you know, like Patricia Steer.
Pretty much.
But it's a conspiracy because they haven't had contact with him.
As well could have just figured out this is wrong. The Earth isn't flat. Who knows?